All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I hope everybody had a great weekend. As we know, over this weekend, it was the aftermath of the Xbox Activision Blizzard acquisition finally closing, finally coming to an end. Activision, Blizzard King, all of the IPs, all of the studios, employees, technology, resources, all of those things are officially a part of Microsoft and a part of the Xbox division. And Xbox is looking just absolutely insane right now in terms of the amount of games that they will have, the amount of first party content that is going to be dropping into Xbox Game Pass. And it is an extremely exciting future if you are within the Xbox ecosystem. Now, one of the major departments and governments that have been fighting and pushing back against this merger has been the FTC. And they've already been defeated in court. And you would think now that the CMA has approved the deal, Xbox has closed, that they would just kind of give up and go away and focus on things that make more sense and utilize American taxpayers' money better than focusing on the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition. And that looks like it's not going to be the case. We have this article here from Reuters saying US antitrust enforcer says pressing on with fight against Microsoft Activision deal. The US Federal Trade Commission said on Friday that it remained focused on its appeal opposing Xbox maker Microsoft, now who has closed the $69 billion deal, and then that they would assess the company's agreement with Ubisoft. And here is specifically what they are saying, with the agency, what the FTC is saying on the appeal. Obviously, we know that they offered that new deal with Ubisoft having the cloud streaming rights. All of the Activision Blizzard games are going to be a part of Ubisoft Plus, so that bolsters that subscription as well. But here's what the FTC says. They say Microsoft and Activision's new agreement with Ubisoft presents a whole new facet to the merger that will affect American consumers, which the FTC will assess as part of its ongoing administrative proceedings. And then they say the FTC continues to believe this deal is a threat to competition. So they still believe that they are acting in the best interest of the American consumer, and that spending all of this time and money and resources still trying to stop this deal, or get changes to this deal, even though, I mean, they can't stop it, it's closed, but have some sort of win for the merger, for the FTC, they still believe that is worth going forward with, which just makes absolutely no sense. The fact that they still think it is a threat to competition, again, makes no sense with all of the remedies and concessions that Microsoft has made, specifically the Ubisoft stuff, specifically the 10-year deals that they made before signing over the cloud streaming rights to Ubisoft. I mean, we have an example right in front of us that we can look at and say, already, right off of the bat, that this deal is better for gamers, and it is better for consumers, and it is better for the entire overall gaming industry. You just look specifically at Call of Duty as to what has been going on over the last number of years, what is going on this year with Modern Warfare 3, where PlayStation has exclusive content locked away behind the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation platform, which is worse overall for the gamers of Call of Duty. It splits up the community. It's forcing you to go and potentially play on a platform that you may not want to play on. Maybe your friends are there, all of those types of things. And that is all going to be going away now that Xbox and Microsoft own Activision. The future editions of Call of Duty will have complete parity across the board on the Nintendo Switch, on the PlayStation 5, on the Xbox Series S and X. They're all going to have the exact parity in content that everybody is going to be able to play. There won't be any exclusive maps, no exclusive game modes, anything like that, which right off the bat is better for the consumer and better for the gamers. And it almost just seems like they are ignoring all of these things, and they want to continue to try to get that political win. And one of the things too with the CMA, they did go ahead and block this deal, and then they finally went ahead and approved it, but they still felt like they got such a big win that they could have a notch on their scorecard because of the concession that Microsoft made, which was selling off the streaming rights to Ubisoft. And maybe the FTC haven't received their big win yet, and that's probably what they're still trying to go for. I don't know how this is going to work out. I mean, the deal's closed, everything's done. Xbox has Activision Blizzard, nothing's going to change. So we'll see what happens here going forward with the FTC versus Xbox. Now, moving over here to an acquisition that happened a number of years ago, and that is Mojang and Minecraft, which Microsoft was made a great decision going ahead and purchasing Mojang. Obviously, this is one of those acquisitions that has paid off greatly and will continue to pay off, and that is with Minecraft. As there's another huge number here with Minecraft saying that they have crossed 300 million copies sold as it is set to celebrate its 15th anniversary. So the last metric that we had was from April 2021, and they had sold 238 million copies, and now they're at 300. And it is one of the greatest selling video games of all time. And it says here that, however, it has been over 2 years since Mojang Studios last revealed to players just how many copies of Minecraft have been purchased since the game debuted in May of 2009. And now that is all changing as it's recently crossed over 300 million copies sold, which is obviously an absolutely insane number. And here is their official release as to what they say. They say, as we approach the 15th anniversary, Minecraft remains one of the best selling games of all time with over 300 million copies sold, a milestone no one could have dreamed of when we were all placing our first blocks. That's from Helen Chang, the head of Mojang Studios. And they say, our incredible community has built Minecraft into what it is today and what it will become in the future. We can't wait to share new Minecraft content and experiences in the years ahead. So Minecraft is very successful. This is an Xbox first party title, although you wouldn't ever think of it like that really, because it's on every single platform. And I guess it's also one of those things that Xbox has been able to look at for their strategy going forward with more acquisitions when they get games like Call of Duty, that it would make absolutely zero sense to withhold such popular games from any devices, because you're not going to be surpassing 300 million copies sold if you're doing that, or it's going to just take far longer to get to that type of number and just get even more return on that investment. And Minecraft, Mojang has paid off dividends for Xbox, and they're going on to 300 million copies in their 15th anniversary, and that's going to continue to grow, especially as they do add more content. It's one of those games that just it it covers a blanket of every single type of consumer out there, every single genre. You could do so many different things in it. So that's one of the major reasons why it is so successful and so popular. Now, let's jump over here. This is a new bundle that Xbox is releasing, and this is kind of what we'll probably see more of as we go forward into the next couple of years, as we're going through the middle years of this generation and then off until to the tail end until we get into the next generation of consoles. We're going to see more bundles and more packages here from Xbox. And they have the new Xbox starter bundle, which is the Xbox Series S, which the white one, which is 512 gigabytes in terms of the memory. And it comes with a 3-month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership. And this is going to be retailing for $300, and it will be available worldwide on October 31st. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I think this is going to be the beginning going into the holiday season of some more bundles that we will be seeing coming out from Xbox, as they're going to obviously want to capitalize on all of the games that they have. It will be interesting to see if we see anything incorporated with Activision Blizzard this holiday season, or if they're going to have to wait until next year. But you can bet going forward, you're going to see a holiday release bundle from Xbox with the newest Call of Duty game right there on the box, with additional access to Xbox Game Pass. And that's going to be something huge for pushing the Xbox consoles going forward. Now, this is the Xbox Series S. Will we see a Series X bundle that is similar, that comes with the 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, or maybe some first party titles bundled into the purchase, which is super cool because you're not paying anything additional here for this bundle to get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass. That's added on because the console is still only $299, and it is still the best value in gaming. I know a lot of people like to hate on the Xbox Series S. That's been a narrative right from the beginning of this generation. And sure, it has its faults, and there have been some issues with games, but overall, the Xbox Series S, for the price you're paying, for the content that you get with it, and for the output that it does, is still a very, very good value in gaming. The best value in gaming, as they do say here in the article. All right, let's jump over here for a rumor. As we know, the PlayStation 5 announced the PS5 Slim. And with the PS5 Slim, there is a detachable disk drive. So you are going to be able to buy the disk drive separately and plug it in and play all your discs if you have the digital edition of the game itself. And it has a brand new design. In fact, there was this design comparison where you can kind of see the difference in size between the OG PS5 and the PS5 Slim. It actually does look significantly smaller. Now, this is just from a Reddit user who put this together, but they're saying it's like 30% smaller and stuff. And it does look like it is in much better form factor in terms of the size. I still think the design of the PS5 isn't good. I've never liked it. And with this whole stand thing where you have to buy an additional stand to stand it vertically at $30, I think it's kind of, again, just bad design overall. But this slimmer PS5, it looks significantly better just in terms of how much smaller it is compared to that big beast that they originally released. So you're going to be able to add a disk drive on to the smaller PS5. That's something they are going to be selling separately for $80. And it sounds like from this rumor here from Special Nick that Xbox will be doing the same thing. Now, again, this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but it does make a ton of sense based off of the leaks that we've seen via the document leak that Xbox had a while ago with everything about their future plans that was revealed. And we saw the digital Xbox Series X kind of looked like it was a cylindrical design versus the box design that we currently have with the Xbox Series X. But the biggest change on there was they took out the disk drive. Now, when releasing these all digital consoles, there is no way that Xbox can go out there and not give people the option to put discs in, especially because we are 3 years into this generation. And there are people that probably have a large collection of physical games. And they wouldn't even think about wanting to upgrade or pick up the all digital version of the Xbox Series X, and maybe not even want to pick up a Series S because they have so many discs. So creating a attachable disk drive just makes a ton of sense, and it will entice more people to potentially go out and purchase a Series X digital. And on top of that, if you do have a Series S, I would love to see this, because then you could also connect it to your Xbox Series S and make that console something that will be able to play the discs that you do currently own. Especially Nick here is saying that he has heard that Xbox is going to be doing a disk drive add-on. Again, it makes a ton of sense with already this generation. They can't stop producing physical games. They're still going to be able to have to support people who do have physical games. And if they are potentially thinking about going forward into the future and just completely trying to stop physical games and make it an all digital future, they can't just do it cold turkey. They are going to have to ease people into it, especially the people who have a large physical collection of Xbox games. So I hope they do this. I hope this is rumor that does come true, but it just does make a ton of sense. Then we have this rumor here from Jess Corden from the Xbox 2 podcast that Xbox are going to be adding achievements to mobile games. And one thing we do know when it comes to the Xbox Activision Blizzard acquisition is Phil Spencer has continuously said this acquisition is about mobile gaming and expanding out there because it is the platform where it's the easiest way to access people. It is the largest way that people game. And it's one place that if you're able to capture a large audience in there, it's really going to help your business grow. I don't play mobile games. I'm not a fan of mobile games. I would definitely make that argument that most people who play mobile games are probably more casual gamers if you care about identifying if you're a casual or a hardcore gamer, whatever that is. But one way to get people who like myself who couldn't care less about mobile games to potentially jump in and play them is by adding achievements. Jess Corden here says that he's hearing that Microsoft wants to bring Xbox achievements and the Xbox social graph into mobile games. So I think that would be a great idea, especially if they are planning on actually going out and making their own mobile store with all of the Xbox IPs that they will have and that they're going to continue to try accumulate. It just makes a ton of sense to keep people within that ecosystem and want to specifically look out for and play Xbox mobile games so that you can increase your gamer score. It gives you something on top of just the game itself to be interested in staying within the ecosystem. For me, I would probably end up checking out some of these mobile games if there are achievements attached to it, if it's attached to my Xbox profile, and it just keeps me in this feeling that at least something is progressing here, and I'm not just wasting my time playing these mobile games that I have no interest in. So we'll see what happens. And hopefully the mobile games that Xbox does create with all of these first party IPs will be more interesting than some of the other stuff that I have played out there. So I think this would be a great idea. It just makes a ton of sense for doing that. Now, let's jump over here because this was an interesting story. And Manchester United at their games, they were giving out Game Pass codes printed on hot dog buns. As you can see here, this is a picture. These big hot dogs with Game Pass codes printed on them. I wonder how long they're for. Maybe it's a week of Game Pass. Maybe it's like 3 days. But this is just a cool marketing thing that I did want to show off because I love hot dogs. I love Game Pass. Putting those two together is something that I would definitely go out and buy if they were selling these hot dogs near me. Now, when it comes again to physical gaming and going into the complete digital era, we're here. We're essentially here. As somebody who loves to collect games and I love game preservation, I hope there are always things in place to preserve games. It is saddening to see because I've been playing games forever, back to in the cartridge days, everything like that. Sad to see that everything is going away physically, but these are huge signs. Specifically, first of all, Best Buy announced that they were going to stop selling physical media, including 4K Blu-rays and DVDs, possibly as soon as the end of Q1 2024. And now it looks like Walmart is following along the same lines. It says it was just yesterday that Ubisoft's representative was explaining how there will always be a market for physical games, and that is true. They did say there's still going to be a collector's market and all that stuff, and I agree. I think that will always be there. People will still always want physical games, but is it big enough of a market for these companies to really care? They say today a claim has dropped suggesting that the biggest retailer in the United States is preparing to stop stocking physical media, which will undoubtedly be a blow to that market. And they say as time goes on, we're becoming increasingly digital gamers with cloud streaming rising in popularity over the time. And tech titans like Microsoft and Sony fielding consoles that suit the digital player. Physical media is becoming almost archaic for some consumers. So first, Best Buy, then it sounds like Walmart is going to be going away with it. And then you're probably going to see pretty much every other store follow suit, or at least a lot of these big chain stores follow suit. What will be interesting to see is what GameStop does. Because if GameStop stops selling physical media, how are they going to transition their business where people still want to go in? Because obviously, physical media is a major part, especially the used side of things. And I think there is still always going to be a market for people who would want to pay a little bit less and pick up a used copy of a game. But having those stores available, I hope never goes away. Now, finally, let's end off here and let's talk about the PlayStation 5 and continuing to expand into PC. The people at PlayStation have already sat around, right? They've sat around their boardroom. They've looked at what Xbox has done, expanding into PC so much and having to play everywhere, and how that has helped grow their business. And now with Xbox owning Activision Blizzard, having all of their games in a single ecosystem, they have captured the subscription, the cloud gaming market, the console market, and the PC market. For people, no matter where they are, they're going to be able to play all of these games all the time. And PlayStation's sitting there with their subscription service, and they know that they need to expand it out. I mean, we've already seen them change up PS Plus with the tiers. Then they've gone ahead and they're launching their updated cloud streaming service, which I think we'll see how it goes. It's going to have 4K, which is a nice upgrade and advantage over what Xbox has. And we'll see how successful that is. And then if they were ever to start dropping their first party games into that service, I think it would really help PlayStation grow their subscription and their cloud service. And then obviously PlayStation PC is something they've continued to work on with multiple of their first party games releasing on PC. And it looks like they are continuing to expand that out as they are looking to grow in the PC market, looking for a PC planning analyst. And what this job description says here is that as the PC planning and analysis, you will play a pivotal role in driving sales success and shaping strategy for PlayStation's fast growing PC market. So they're expanding out people working on PlayStation PC. Obviously, it is growing and they're going to want to continue to grow that out. One of the major things why this is so important for PlayStation is because of how much it costs to develop their first party games now, or at least their new first party games. It probably doesn't cost as much as if they continue to put out The Last of Us remake for the 50th time and The Last of Us 2 remaster and all these things that they are continuously rehashing. One of the main reasons is probably because it costs less. But when they're creating these new big IPs, they're creating these new big games that are sequels to their current titles. They're saying it's costing around $200 million plus to make and getting much harder to get return on investment by locking these games to a singular platform, which is why we are seeing PlayStation obviously want to expand out to reach more people as possible. They're looking at what Xbox has done and how successful they've been, and they definitely need to be doing the same thing. So they're looking and they're hiring more people jump into that. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.